Morning, everybody.
Morning, Catherine.
All right. Did you enjoy your holidays?
Oh, I've got my privacy. Yes, for the first week or so, right up until the moment I contracted dysentery, it was all right.
Nice.
Hence why I'm under house arrest still.
No.
And I can't even bank COVID. But it's an interesting story. So
I just had COVID, so I'm just
you did. How are you?
Yeah, to be fair, fine. Okay. It was just like bad flu, so I'm not complaining at all. But how many people have we? We've got 10 people in already. We'll give people a few minutes to come in. But
lovely to see you anyway. Glad you're feeling better.
You, darling. I can tell you all a funny story about Dame Tanny. In a previous life, my ex-husband used to run the Welsh Paralympic team. So when the games were in Melbourne, suddenly when my son was in primary school, he received a postcard from Tammy from the games sent to the school that my husband had organized, well, my ex-husband had organized. So yeah, it was nice to see Tanny this morning. But I still have the said postcard framed of Tammy sending encouraging messages, and to be fair, he then represented his country in two separate sports, so she inspired him to do something. Graham's got cups of tea. That's not fair. Let me see who we've got on here. There's a lot of familiar names, which is nice. I like to speak to new people. Saves me winding up all the people I've known previously. I'm good at that. I will wait until 5 past because that's when the session's due to start, and then I've just got a very short, I'll whiz through a short presentation just to give you an insight. I mean, hopefully most of you know what we do and what we're about, but I'll give you a brief insight, but I will make sure there's time for questions. And then for the coffee and lunch breaks, we decided rather than doing one-to-one sessions, people can just drop in, and Gary and myself will be around to answer any questions or just have a chat with people who don't fancy anything else that's available and just want to talk about whatever, the weather or Christmas or whatever takes your fancy. We're here for you all day. You've definitely got a very full packed agenda to get yourselves through today, so keep you on your toes. For anybody who doesn't know me, I was a town clerk for 15 years before I saw the light and went to move to Blachere. So I do totally understand the sector. I was also chairman of SLCC for 5 years. So yeah, it's always good to be able to work on things with Mark, to catch up with old friends and get to meet people from the sector again. So. You haven't got a Christmas tree up yet, Jane?
No, I'm one of those people that says nothing before the 1st of December, nothing. And then I just can't get my head around the fact that it's December.
I know, it came round quick, didn't it?
It's come round far too quick, and sort of with everything else that's been going on, I suddenly thought I should probably get some presents in at some point.
Well, our presents are all done and wrapped up. Right, it's 5 past. Let's crack on. So welcome everybody. I'm Catherine Owen. I work for Blachere Illuminations, who have been a long-standing partner of NALC for many years. Gary, who will be the familiar face to many of you, is hiding in the other room as my backup in case anything goes wrong. But he'll come in when we get to the Q&A at the end. So I'm just going to whiz through some slides for you just to give you an insight into how we can help you in the future. We can still help you this year, but it's a bit tight, but it is doable. Let me chat. Oh, why isn't my screen movers decided not to play ball? That's bad, isn't it? Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight about who we are as a company, our huge innovative ranges that have happened this year, and our new summer range, which you've all played a part in. So without further ado, Blachere have been producing illuminations for over 45 years, so we sort of know what we're talking about. We're a global company as well, which I think is a very important message, and we are the manufacturer. So we can cut out your middleman. We do it all from design, creation, installation, stock, you name it, we do it from start to finish for you. In the UK, we have 3 premises. Our original head office is up in Ladybank in Fife. Our biggest is in the Cotswolds in Blachere. I was down there yesterday, making a few things to put outside the house, as you do, perks of the job. And then we have a huge warehouse in Horbury in Yorkshire, which serves the north of the country. But yeah, we deal with all sorts of clientele, from obviously our biggest players are yourselves as councils. We deal with markets, we deal with a lot with bids. Yeah, we have something for everybody. I go to so many conferences, and obviously having been a clerk, people know me, so they'll come and talk to me with the old clerk hat on, and it'll go, oh, really nice to see you, Kath, but sorry, no point in talking to you about Christmas lights, we can't afford them, man. I work for a really small parish. And I just say to them, yeah, we do really honestly have something for everybody, from a tree kit for £99, which every council in the country can afford. So don't ever be afraid to pick up the phone to us, because we should be able to do something for anybody who wishes to do so. This is just a brief timeline of how we've grown as a company, but the main things I want to talk to you about are the last 2 sections, which is all about our eco-responsible stuff. As I said, we're a global company. We have 28 branches worldwide, and they seem to be added to on a regular basis, and we cover over 150 countries. Gary and I are quite fortunate. We get to go to the global convention each year, and well, haven't obviously for a couple of years for obvious reasons, but it's nice to be able to get that sense of belonging to such a large company, and it really does bring it home to me, just how big a company we are. We have 30 designers dotted all around the place who bring their magic to light, and it's, yeah, I still get goosebumps, and people don't believe me, but I've worked for the company for 2 years, and I still, there's things in today's presentation that I still get goosebumps telling you about, so bear with me when I get a bit gushy. These are just a few examples for you of, we can go really big, like the Norwich Tunnel. Costs a lot of money, yes it does, but the reward they then get back in the footfall and the economic drive that it brings them is just insignificant to them, because it brings them in so much money locally. The tree that you can see in the centre there in New Bond Street is actually an eco-responsible tree. It looks like a real tree, it's not, it avoids all your deforestation, and it's actually recyclable. Bespoke items we can do like the King's Road, the traditional that you'd expect us to do like the Manchester. This is a new scheme we've done this year, and it is amazing. So huge mansion house, and we'll go back to it, it's worth seeing again. And they've done a woodland trail. It's also cost them a lot of money, but they've already sold tickets of over £1.3 million worth of ticket sales. So, it depends what people are looking for. If you want to go big, the return can be immense. But this only went live 2 days ago, so I was frantically getting pictures down from them last night to upload for you, because it's just breathtaking what they've done. So yeah, we can do whatever you want, and anything's bespoke that you need, we can do that specifically for your town, city. So if you've got an emblem that represents your area, yeah, put it on your lampposts, put it anywhere you want. We can help you. But the main reason I want to be able to have this opportunity to talk to you today is about our eco ranges. We are the only company in the world who can offer you proper eco-responsible ranges. I'm not here to talk about other people, but they will tell you that they'll plant a tree or whatever. We now have 2 eco ranges that are completely biodegradable or recyclable, and this is my goosebump moment. It's amazing what they've been able to achieve. So what you see in the picture here, anything that looks like gold plastic is made out of, this is the bioprint range, and it looks like it's, you know, it's all still pretty, it's all beautiful, but it's completely recyclable. So the plasticky looking bits can all be broken down. I'll show you a video later that brings it to life, but it's either that the aluminium can be recycled, the lights can be recycled, and the plasticky looking bits are all biodegradable. We never get to the biodegradable stage, as I'll show you in a second. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. Hopefully this video will bring that all to light, and if for any reason you can't hear it, can someone shout at me very loudly, but you should be able to. Enjoy.
For Blachere, protecting the planet isn't optional, it's our duty. Having been the first to make LEDs the norm, to revolutionize our illuminations thanks to bioprint, a recyclable and biodegradable material made from bio-sourced GMO-free sugarcane, we are now innovating with the launch of RecyPrint. RecyPrint is made of salvaged plastic bottles, then crushed into crystals after being color sorted. Our goal? Recycling existing plastic and cleaning the planet and the oceans. When the bioprint and RecyPrint granules arrive at our workshops in Apt, France, we add our own dyes. The substance is put into our 3D printers to produce colorful and innovative decorations. As a result, we use 80% less aluminium in our 2D decorations, and our aluminium is recycled, as are our garlands and electrical components. Although half our Blachere R&D budget goes on researching new biomaterials, our quest to be environmentally responsible is only just beginning. We are Blachere. We have been creating decorative illuminations for 45 years now, with care and passion.
I'm not going to apologise to anyone who's seen that before, because I still think it's amazing. Christmas lights out of recycled plastic bottles. I mean, yeah, it's mind-boggling, but it's real. And within, I mean, the scary stats are that 8 million tons of waste end up in the oceans every year. That's scary. And I know everyone's now talking about climate change at last. And what we're doing here is a really small part of that bigger jigsaw, but it's still a very real part of that jigsaw. And if this is helping in some way, shape or form, then I'm really proud to work for a company that's taken it seriously. But it's also really, really clever. Within the catalogues, having obviously worked in a council, I know that people like to be able to see what we're actually talking about. So we're actually showing in the catalogues how many plastic bottles it takes to make each item. So that there you go, that's a page from. So it takes 221 bottles to create the large cross street. And then they range. I think that's a powerful message. So any councils that are taking their climate emergency plans seriously, you know, and you're saying you're going to try and only work with companies that, you know, look at eco stuff properly, you can then take it a step further and say, we know that you know, that cross street hanging in our town or city, village, wherever, you know, has already recycled 221 plastic bottles for that to be real and hanging. So I think it reinforces what any council are trying to do. If, you know, and I know there are a lot of councils out there now that have signed up to climate emergency plans. There's also a lot of councils, being one before I left, that signed up to climate emergency plans and didn't really know what that meant at the time. I think it's becoming a bit more real now. So just to touch on the first one, the bioprint, that was a sugarcane based product. And if I'm honest, people didn't really get that one. The recycled plastic bottles, everybody gets that one. But the bioprint does still exist and is, you know, is a completely eco-responsible range. So we can offer you both. This just shows you that it takes 18 weeks from the pellet stage to be completely biodegradable. We're never going to get to that. We only go as far as test tube 3, where it then is recycled within our factories and goes back through the system to recreate more decorations. And when people say, oh, so the fact that it's biodegradable, does that mean it's going to dissolve when it's hanging in our town or city? No, it's not. It has to be completely demolished for us to get it down to the granule stage. So please don't fret. It comes with all the same guarantees as anything else that we do. But we truly, as a company, do take this seriously, and we're at least 5-6 years ahead of our competitors because we've been working on this for a very long time, and we spent a lot of money on researching and getting it right. But that hasn't been passed on to the customers. These frames cost exactly the same prices as the equivalent size frames did prior to them being eco-responsible. So that again is something I'm really proud of. But yeah, hopefully that reinforces to you that for anyone that signed up to a climate emergency plan, or even those that haven't and do care, that, you know, truly we should be the only company that you're speaking to. I love this. This is our new whale. So that's actually made of recycled plastic bottles, but within it, it houses an industrial sized bin with the hole in the side of it for people to post their bottles in to then go away and end up being recycled to make the Christmas decorations. It's a simple system really, but really cute. Oh, there's a question in the chat. I'll come to that in a second. So very quickly, summer range. This has come about because of the likes of you talking to Gary and myself in exhibitions saying, love the Christmas stuff we've had from you, but do you do anything else for any other time of the year? Because we can only spend Christmas money on Christmas stuff, but we have other budgets for other parts of the year, but we can't spend them on Christmas lights. But can you do anything else for us? So it's like, well, actually, and I think, again, going back to the fact that I've been a town clerk, I could actually then reinforce that to bosses and say, well, yeah, you know, people do their budget, they get a budget line and can only spend that budget on that, you know, particular item. So we then created a summer range for you, which has gone down really well this year. It was only launched this year. So, but it can be as simple as just using the same lights that would be used at Christmas to light up certain parts of your town or city. You then got these beautiful floral wisteria hanging decorations, which can be lit or not. These are made out of the bioprint, so eco-friendly. So there's various designs within the catalogue. There's 6 different designs within the catalogue, but again, we can make it into any shape you want. So this is just the flowers and leaves. There's also seashells. There's various umbrellas, because a lot of people like to do the streets of umbrellas, but again, we can make it into anything you want it to be. So when you've got your entertainments committee or whoever looking at summer events for next year, then please give us a call in January once you've got over Christmas, and we can take that forward. And this is probably my favourite thing that we do, other than the recyclable thing. And I used to do this as a clerk, so I can talk about it firsthand, and it is such a crowd pleaser. It's unbelievable and cheap. Where you get your local primary schools to get the kids to design what Christmas means to them on a poster, then each school, or however you want to play it, you know, chooses their own winner. Those go into a bigger, you know, overall winner, and then, you know, first, second and third, or however many, some people just start with one a year, get them actually made into a festive light that only your town or village or city will have. And of course, the entire school want to come down and see it. Then, you know, the individuals, parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, you name it, all want to come down and see it. So that's a really, really, really cost-effective way of having an impact at Christmas. So that's really a whistle-stop tour of what we can do for you as a company. Those are my contact details, should anybody want to get in contact with us. But we do have 5 minutes or so now for any questions. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to go to the chat and see what's in the chat. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Are the table ties I saw on the video also recyclable? I believe so, is the answer to that, but I'm not going to, don't quote me on that. But unfortunately, you know, cable ties, you know, in our profession do have to be used. Any other questions, or I'm happy for people to unmute themselves and come and actually physically ask a question rather than all doing it via the chat. If you want, let's talk, let's see each other. And
hi, Catherine. It's Alison Clark here from Sunninghill and Ascot Parish Council. Thank you very much. Interesting. We do have Christmas decorations, Christmas lights go up in 3 of our villages, including Ascot High Street. But I was really interested to see the children's illuminations, the children's pictures brought to life. Could you give me an idea on that sort of thing? Do you have to order several, or, you know, obviously that would be more cost effective, but you know, what's your guideline pricing on that, just to give me an idea?
Yeah, as an approximate, they cost about, it depends on how intricate the picture is design wise, but approximately it costs £800 per frame. Mm-hmm. Now, as I said, some places just start with one each year, you know, as part of their Christmas scheme, and then they grow on it each year, so only the winner each year gets chosen. When I did it the first time, we did first, second and third, just so we had more than one in the first year, and then went to winner each year. And as I say, you can't beat seeing the expression of the face of the winner when, and I used to double it up, and I used to get them to come and help me do the countdown and press the plunger for the Christmas lights in the whole town going on. So you can make as much fuss as you want with them, but seeing their faces when their design gets put up in light, you just can't, money doesn't buy that. It's magic. And as I say, having seen it firsthand, it's, yeah, I can really talk about that from the heart, because it's just, yeah, special.
Thank you very much. That's lovely. Thank you. Very inspiring.
Anybody else? Liz has got a hand up.
Hi, I just wanted to ask about how you recycling stuff, if it needs to be recycled. Would a council have to organise how stuff gets recycled, or do we just phone you up and say, this needs to be recycled, we don't have a use for it? Can you come and take it away?
Yeah, so if people can either buy from us or hire from us. If people hire from us, then we bring it back to our warehouses and we, you know, do a maintenance check and health check on it before it goes back out the following year. And then when something comes to the end of its life, then we recycle it so that we can then, you know, either reuse the aluminium frame or recycle the biodegradable elements to recreate other designs, so that the councils don't have to worry about that side. If you've purchased them and they get to the end of their life and they're no good to you anymore, then yeah, we can obviously take them and use them to recycle and move them forward. But that the recycling side isn't something that the council needs to worry about. That's something for us to do internally.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? I'm just also conscious of time that you need to get yourselves to your next session. And the next session that we go into is the coffee breaks, where you've got a choice of either going to any of the 3 exhibitors, because I'm very grateful that you've all chosen to come to this one, not to the other 2, but if you wanted to speak to either BHIB or Mark and Kelly from CCLA, you can join their sessions, or you can, if someone hasn't had a chance to ask a question now and wants to come in and ask us something, then we're going to keep that link in all for the rest of the day. So yeah, lunchtime, break times, we're going to be there all day. But if there aren't any other questions, oh, hold on, what sort of lead time on the children's design? Any bespoke item, I'll come to you in a second, David. So any bespoke items, be it children's motifs or anything that's unique to you, we ask from a minimum of 8 to 10 weeks. If it's a lot, then we've obviously asked for more than that, but I'd realistically say, if you know you want to do something like that, get it done, you know, sooner rather than later, because you can imagine at this time of the year, everyone's doing it last minute, and you know, then you become part of a chain in the production line. So that the sooner you can get on it and ahead of the production line, that's better all round. But a minimum of 8 to 10 weeks for bespoke items. Councillor David Harris.
Thank you. Yes, I was interested in your litter bin made out of recycled bottles, and the fact that you then could collect plastic bottles in it. What happens to those? Do we then just recycle those ourselves, or do you want those bottles that go into such a litter bin?
Yeah, it's again, councils, you would just take your bottles to you'd have an arrangement with your local council for them to collect the recycled bottles like they would any other recycling bin. Then we have arrangements with recycling centres where we then get the bottles from the major recycling centres. So you would just purchase your bin, put it in, you know, rather than having an industrial bin on a street corner somewhere, you just house that bin inside the whale and treat it like you would any other recycling bin with your main authority, and then we then speak to the main authorities and purchase the recycled bottles for us to use to turn into your decorations.
And roughly how much is the whale?
Can I send you an email on that, because I don't get involved in price, and I deliberately don't get involved in pricing.
That's right.
Because I don't want to be seen as doing a sales pitch when I do these things. So if I don't know prices, I can't do it as a sales pitch. But if you'd like to either send me, my email is k.owen@blachere-illumination.co.uk, or stay on, join the breakout one now, and I'll get your email, and I can get someone to send you details. But yeah, it'll be a few £1,000s, because it's a huge thing, but it's so cute.
Thank you.
No problem. If there's nothing else, I'll let you go and all put your Jane.
Just a very quick one following on from Councillor Harris. I agree, that whale would be amazing down in Weymouth. Have you got plans to branch out into bins in general made of recycled material, or is this a one-off sort of product linked to your use of recycled plastics?
I'm not aware of anything else. I mean, we have had, following me doing this presentation somewhere else recently, someone said, oh, but our beach is called Dolphin Beach. Could you make it into a dolphin? And it's like, sure we can. You know, I'll find out. But actual bins per se, I'll be speaking to, I can pass it back to bosses if it's something people, you know, think might be viable, and I can also speak to our colleagues in places like David Ogilvy who do bins, and see if we can work in partnership with that sort of people. So I'm not going to say no and write it off, but if you think it was something your council would seriously consider, then drop me an email and I'll see how I'll try and find a solution.
Thanks, Catherine. Councillor Harris is leading on our work from a member perspective on being greener and cleaner in all we do, and has a particular focus at the moment on bins. So this is a very timely discussion. And I'm just reading in the chat about Farringdon have commissioned a large pigeon. Maybe we could have a large seagull, Councillor Harris. But I prefer the whale.
I love that. Large pigeon for recycled bottles. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
and
like it.
his bottom opens up, so when you empty it, you take his bottom up. I'm just trying to find a picture, but I've got it on the wrong computer.
I'm not quite sure what to say to that, really, but
But his mouth, his beak is open, and so the children put the bottles in the beak.
in the beak. Oh, that's
Yeah.
sensible. The fact that they're putting
Yeah.
it through the beak.
But it would be
that's
lovely
lovely.
to have him lit, wouldn't it, at Christmas? That would be really
Yes.
nice.
Yes. But yeah, so I think the message is for people who want to take their eco-responsibles seriously, then we can help you. If you just want Christmas lights, we can help you. There's something for everyone. There's tree kits that go above shops from £99 to anybody that wants to spend £500,000. It's whatever. But if you've got any ideas like recycle bins, if it's not something we can do, as I say, we might be able to work in partnership with other exhibitors that we know from the circuit, and between us, come up with things. So I never say never. But go and put the kettle on and get yourself into whichever break session you want to get yourself into. And thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure to speak to you this morning.